All right, well, get this.
All right, let's hear it.
A Michigan tire shop owner says he doesn't service black or ghetto people.
For tires?
That's what he says.
Can't wait to hear why.
A tire shop in Ann Arbor, Michigan is facing criticism after a mechanic purportedly to be the business owner said he doesn't want business of blacks and ghetto people.
Okay.
When Ypsilanti resident Madison Callahan left a negative Yelp review for her experience at Whitney's Tire and Auto Repair, she received a shocking
And outrageous
response by a Yelp user going by the name of Jim S.,
Okay.
who claimed to be the owner and the manager of the repair shop.
Mm-hmm.
The Yelp comment from Madison said, "Too bad 0 stars isn't an option."
Oh.
Called and asked about the tire after being told, "I don't have time for stupid questions. You sound fucked up." and I'm treating you like the dog you are.
Oh my God.
This business has completely lost my respect. Customer service bullshit. This place would be better off out of business. Clearly not run by professionals.
Nice.
So that was Madison C's comment.
Okay.
Here's the rebuttal by Jim S. of Whitney's Tire and Auto Repair.
All right.
Most reviews will be left by blacks from Ypsilanti. Because I don't want them to call here.
Oh my God.
Nothing against them, but given an examination, I found a way to make a whole lot more money avoiding them doing commercial water heaters. We stick to University of Michigan related clients, a more appropriate fit given they reside near our shop. Ghetto folks need to stay in the ghetto and not come to Ann Arbor.
Love this guy. Now, here's the question. Do you believe that this is really the owner?
It could be. Who knows? Haley Kill Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Scotty from the Commonwealth.
Hey, what's up, Scotty?
How you guys? Hey, what happened to you guys last week? We missed you.
Well, Chris had business. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Fair enough. Yeah, I remember. By the way, week before last, when I called, you made you said something about Pennsylvania, and I'm from the Commonwealth. That's what massholes refer to as Massachusetts. I know there's 4 other Commonwealths, but those are just Commonwealths. There's only one, the Commonwealth. But anyway, listen, I just want to know, did you guys catch that thing on fucking TMZ with Nicolas Cage and Vince Neil?
Well, I actually have that on the list, so if I get to it, I get to it. Otherwise, it's old news.
I know it was. It was news last week, but you guys weren't around, so I just figured I'd just bring it up this week for something to process. But yeah, that was fucking hysterical, though. You watch the video, and it's like Vince having a fucking meltdown.
Well, that's pretty much typical Vince Neil.
I know. What are you gonna do? But anyway, I just want to call in and say, say hello, and I don't know, hail and kill, fuck you, pal, and hand job.
All right. Well, thanks for checking in.
That was something.
I like. Let me make a statement here to everybody who listens to the show and likes to call.
Mm-hmm.
I like your calls, but I wish your calls were timed with the stories. That's all I'm asking. If you're going to call during the time that we're covering the story.
Many of you won't like what I'm about to say next, but follow the pattern of Doghouse. Doghouse calls and talks about what we're talking about. every time he calls and speaks on what we're speaking about.
Right. So if Scotty, I like the fact that you call. I like the fact that you're enthusiastic about the show. If you wanted to talk about niggers from Ypsilanti, you would have been right on point.
Jesus.
I'm going by the story topic here.
Story topic, I know.
So,
yeah, here's the way to think of it. If you call with a topic that we're not talking about, you're basically Tim. So if you don't want to be like Tim, then wait.
yeah. So
That's all.
We'll get to it,
Yeah, sometime.
or we won't.
We won't.
Sorry.
We can cover that story in 2 seconds. You want? Let's do it real quick. You ready?
Yeah.
Vince is an asshole.
Yeah. End of story. All right. Moving on.
Moving back to this story.
All right. The tire shop worker proceeded to write that his business prefers to work with clients related to the University of Michigan Ann Arbor campus. Ghetto folks need to stay in the ghetto and not come to Ann Arbor, he concluded. Shaylin Renee Vaughn.
Shaylin Renee Vaughn.
Yes.
I can smell the whiteness.
A 24-year-old student at the University of Michigan who called the auto shop to ask for a price on the tire recorded a conversation in which the person from the auto repair shop says he doesn't service monkeys.
God damn, man. Do they only sell white walls at this place?
There's no law against refusing service to ghetto people.
Yes, there is.
Well, no, there really isn't.
Yeah, they're out. You cannot refuse service because somebody's black.
That didn't say that. Ghetto people.
You can refuse business because of where they live.
Well, he didn't say black. He said ghetto people. He said we could. There is a law that says you can refuse service to anyone. But you can't say I'm refusing service because you're black.
But because you're a ghetto person?
Yeah.
I think I'd be worried about my business going up in flames.
Well, that I'm not going to argue.
Wow. Nathan, Jesus Christ.
There's a monkey and a tire.
There you go.
That monkey was calling to get that tire replaced.
They did his tire
Yeah.
because he's half white.
Or that could be the girl that called from the University of Michigan. That could be the tire she needed replaced.
Is that Shanae or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's her.
Is that her? Okay.
I don't serve fucking monkeys, little fucking primates, that person told Vaughn in a recording provided to Mick. What Jim S. is admitting to is most likely illegal, thanks to the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This legislation prohibits the discrimination on the basis of religion, race, or origin by privately owned businesses that are considered places of public accommodation.
Right.
Restaurants, hotels, theaters, and repair shops generally fall under this realm of public accommodation. Jim S. contended in a phone interview with Mick that his use of the word ghetto has nothing to do with race. We really don't want to serve ghetto people. That's a fact, he said. When asked who can be defined by the term of ghetto people, Jim S. doubled down that his remarks weren't racial. Race has nothing to do with this. Let me clarify, he said. What we're trying to avoid is people who, number one, can't afford my service.
Okay.
The word ghetto, however, has a long history of being associated with poor minorities as a pejorative. Mm-hmm. When asked if he understood why some people would find the phrase upsetting, he replied, I understand that a lot of people find racism to be the worst thing in the world. This isn't the first time the auto shop and its employees have been connected to an incident of questionable customer service. In February, a mechanic from the Briarwood Auto Care, which appears to be connected with Whitney's, was accused of calling a potential customer a faggot
What?
By way of a text message.
Oh, my God.
A faggot.
I hope he got the death penalty.
Yes. He was on Fox 2 before for a similar incident. He also told my father, black folks can't afford to have stuff fixed, was a Twitter comment.
What is going on at this place? I'm watching right now. Nord just filling out an application.
Jim S. does have the right to refuse service.
Right.
But according to Jane Haskins, a writer who also practiced law for 2 decades, no one can refuse service arbitrarily. It would seem that refusing service to people that fall under his standards of ghetto would qualify as arbitrary.
Okay.
The answer is that you can refuse to serve someone even if they're in a protected group, but the refusal can't be arbitrary and you can't apply it to just one group of people. Haskins wrote in a post on LegalZoom, to avoid being arbitrary, there must be a reason for refusing service and you must be consistent.
So he could say no service for anybody in Ypsilanti.
Probably.
And just because that city's 85% black, tough shit.
Yeah, well, he didn't say no, but no blacks from Ypsilanti. He just said ghetto people. In an email to Mick on Wednesday, the owner of the BP station at the address Whitney's Tire and Auto Repairs listed on a Yelp page said through their attorney that the man who identified himself as Jim S. is actually named Whitney Passino. P-A-S-S-I-N-O. Passino?
Okay.
Passino. And that he had vacated the property on March 1st after they terminated his lease. However, Fox 2 Detroit reporter Jeff Krantz told Mick Wednesday that he found Passino operating his business in another location.
Well, that's good.
All right. Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
Okay, all jokes aside, do you guys agree with this? What do you think?
What?
Well, like this, do you as like Chris is a business owner, you both run businesses, right? Or I don't know if Neely does, but I know Chris does. Would you refuse? Do you think it's right to refuse someone's service because they're black?
I ain't refusing anybody's service. Just give me your fucking money.
So I'm not understanding what this guy's problem is, apart from the fact that he might be racist.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to give you some personal info. I have experiences with people who are Indians. I'm not talking about Native Americans. I'm talking about people from India. I'm familiar with their culture. I get where they're, how they deal in business. And in my personal experience, in my business experience, I would prefer not to deal with them. Not because of their race, but because of their business practices. And if I'm given a lead that is clearly Indian, I just won't act on it.
Yeah. So is this, from what I'm understanding, but that's a different story in a lot of ways because, those people are hard to deal with for a start because they don't understand the language.
Well, it's not a language barrier. It's a cultural thing. I understand their cultural way of doing business, and I just don't have time to mess with that. I'm just not going to go through the exercise of trying to win their business over when I know full and well they're going to just take whatever it is that I do and shop it around.
Yeah, but is this guy basically... I heard you guys say that this guy was basically saying that these people have no money, So it's really a pain in the butt for this guy to deal with them because they come in wanting everything from his shop for free. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Did you ever see the movie Napoleon Dynamite?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well, there's a scene in the movie where this uncle and his nephew are out selling like Tupperware, and they were discussing what parts of the city they were going to go to sell this Tupperware door to door. And he makes a comment, don't go down in that area. Those people don't have any money.
Yeah.
So basically what this guy is saying is I don't want to deal with people from that area because through my personal experience, they probably can't afford to have the services done. And then, like you just said, they'll probably try to Jew you down, and I'm using a racist term, Jew you down, and get something for nothing. So it's just like, rather than deal with the nonsense and trying to, squeeze blood out of a turnip, I'm just rather not deal with them at all.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. So that means this guy's not racist at all.
No, it's not a matter of race. It's a matter of understanding the behavior of certain groups.
Yeah. And it's like there's certain club owners that I won't deal with for whatever reason. No, I agree with that. I was just clarifying because I wasn't sure what you were saying, whether this guy was racist or what. Anyway, hail and kill.
Thanks so much for calling, Tim. Talk about raising the whole content of the topic to another level tonight. My God, Tim, thank you. You really took that topic to the top.
Right.
All the way over. It's like that running the motorcycle right over the cliff.
Sure. Right.
Thanks, Tim.
All right. So there's more of the attitude. I don't know what you want to call it. The idea here that there are people out there now, due to look at Kendall Peters. She's got Uncle Rico. And you've seen that movie, haven't you?
About 10 times.